Hey, top of the morning to you. I'm Michael. The grandkids call me Roo. Thanks for being on Roodoodles Live. It's Saturday morning. It is November the 13th. November the 13th. It is the morning after the Roodoodles Live auction. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it because after I went back down and cleaned up the kitchen from those delicious wings that Chip Fur brought me over and biscuits. I had a biscuit this morning too. Got a new biscuit recipe and it is killing it. It's killing it. I'll even let you know where it came from if you're interested in a biscuit that is simple. You don't have to look up the recipe. You remember it right there. And oh my gosh, I'm a fan. Anyway, you can't eat too many of them, but after about, I eat my fill, and then if I have one or two left over, I sit them out and I let them get really hard, and then I throw them at squirrels. No, not really. Not really. Hey, thanks for being on the show today. Let me say hi to some of you. I feel like I have been out of the lineup of just saying hi. Was on the road all last week. We were in Asheville, the big metropolis of Weaverville. Used to say that in a joking way. It's grown crazy, but it was good to be back in some old stomping grounds and see some artists, meet with people, and I also had an art project that I had to deliver to some folks. So that's always fun when you do that. Sometimes I think like an artist. I try to do that all the time, and sometimes I work like an artist. And so I actually had to go and have some kinks worked out of my back from all the metal work and the blacksmithing and the woodworking that I've been doing. That's been art in the last couple of weeks. So it's been busy. So just been on the road. Let me throw on my glasses, not my headband glasses, but my other glasses. Okay, so here we go. It says, Donna Sell Barton, thanks for being on the show. Nancy Catlett, thank you. I saw a bid from you last night that fell short by just a few seconds, not dollars, seconds. But I'm sorry you missed that. Lori Stanley Handelmeyer Henderson, thanks for being on the show. Appreciate that. Some of you I've already received emails from. So really, thank you for being on the auction, and thank you for purchasing my artwork, and thank you for purchasing some to keep. Thank you for purchasing some to maybe give as Christmas gifts, and I love that. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. Karen Binder, thanks for being on the show. Most of us survived. Denise Albright, good Saturday morning to you too. Valerie Pricey, thank you for being on the show. Top of the morning to you. Debbie Spangler, saw you all over that show last night. It was a fun auction. Wow, what a night. Bids and pictures flying everywhere. Morning from the star-dusted cornfields of Iowa. Star-dusted is what it looks like when that frost is sticking to those leaves. Isn't that fun out there? John Robert Small, Coffee Cowboy Veracruz checking in. Howdy, Pigment Peeps, he says. Good morning to you. John Robert Small, I got to tell you, I'm watching your artwork, and man, I love some of your still life. You're just getting better and better and better and better. And I see him branching out a little bit, and I hope this has been a fun ride for you, cowboy. Yeehaw, okay? Pat Brooks, good morning to you, my dear friend. Pat Brooks is coming on this morning, the fantastic illustrator of Noodle Doodle Fiddle Piddle, and that's not all, man. The maker of cards and the encourager of people. So thank you for being on the show. Kim Sheets, welcome to Art Rules. Rules. You have more. You have more ways to do. You and Jason have more ways to do rules than Bob has ways to find adjectives for the cornfields. Love it. Karen Piker, thank you for being on the show. Saw you last night, and some of you have already sent me emails. I appreciate that. I'll be sending out. Probably won't get to them all today, but I'll be firing out a little note about PayPal's and invoices. And so thank you for doing that. And I'll get things in the mail. Been on the road for the last couple of weeks. I've got some, I actually have some mugs to, and books. Sold a lot of books this weekend. I sold some, Hey Roo, What's a Wheelbarrow books for, little kids, Christmas presents, I'm sure. That's pretty awesome. Gene Anthalzer, Patricia Evans. It was fun last night. Phew. Heather Kuhlman was all over the auction. Deborah Spangler, Linda Schleckning, thank you. Karen Denver, hello. And it's Karen, it's Karin. Shannon Caldwell, Janice Scott, Diane Gregory. I was heartbroken. I had to miss the auction. Hey, for those of you who are heartbroken and you had to miss the auction, I have one word to spell out for you right here. You ready for this? Wait, let me go to my desk. Let me go to the desk shot. Boom. There it is right there. Here is the word that I'm going to spell out for you. Is that how you spell it? You spell Etsy that way, or is it Etsy, Etsy? Yeah, Etsy. I should know. I have an Etsy site. Etsy. There are probably right now 25 paintings down in the floor that I really wanted to move in the auction that I think are some great ones that are here. They're great to keep, and in fact, I have been keeping some of them, but moving things around. So they're about 25, and later today, in fact, I am going to post them on my Etsy shop. And so they'll roll into Etsy. I don't think they're going to go Shopify. I'll note, I think they're going to go into Etsy. You can, of course, still get the mugs. They are available right now. There's one here. Let me hold it this way and you can see it. There's the Roo mug. Look at this. It's right or left-handed. Had to print the Roo head on both sides. And I've got I think there's about 2 or 3 dozen of these, maybe 2 full dozen of bug out bags that are ready to fly. So if you're looking for something quick to put art supplies in, or maybe a Christmas gift to throw pins in, a little bit of paper in. Chip came by last night, had his bag, and he had everything in it. I'm going like, my gosh, I need to see what else is in there. You got, it's like Les Mis. You not only have the candlesticks, the silver candlesticks, you got the communion plate too in there. How did you get all that in there? Anyway, he had a ton of stuff in there. So the bug out bags, this is, you can get those just by going by roodoodle.com, but also on the Etsy store. Later today, I'm going to post, and I haven't done this in years. I haven't painted. Here's the reason. You have to photograph it, and when it sells, you have to go take the photos off, and it's a little labor intensive, but I'll put out I'll drip a couple photos out on Facebook just for some auctions and some first come, first serve sell. But I'll price these and put them on Etsy. Boom, and it goes like that if you're still looking. So if you had to miss it, there's some great ones going to show up. That's coming to you. Crisp and sharp skies, a few clouds here. Dolores Bolin says, Roo doggy. That was a great auction last night. Annette held out because she had her mind set on a bird, a little wren. Well, she lives at Bird Island. I don't know if there's any birds there, but they call it Bird Island. So, Annette, thank you. You're always an encourager. June Jones, love your humor. Rhonda D. Hart, I know, morning from Faith, North Carolina. Bert Crone, good morning from Greenville. Well, you were eating while bidding us. All right. Okay, share the biscuits recipe. I will do it. In fact, I'll do it before the show's over because it's that easy. I'm just going to tell you off the top of your head. I'm just going to take a little note write myself a note right now and write down the word biscuits. Biscuits, biscuits. Okay, so there it is right there. I'll remember to give you a recipe. So have a notepad ready to go. And I'm going to paint something this morning because I haven't painted really. Last night I just rushed through a little painting that I had. I got to move that cup because I'll be trying to drink out of it. This is the cup I'm drinking out of today. Oh, wait, it's the same cup. Man, I'm having Thai food tea today. Good dark tea, and I love it. Shannon Caldwell, thanks for being on the show. Sandy Rowe, good morning to you from southern Minnesota. You know, I know you call it southern Minnesota, but it's just as cold as northern Minnesota. Come on. Man, you guys have 2 weeks of summer up there. See, morning from frozen tundra in Minnesota. See there? Woo, white stuff is on the way. Blizzard season is in full swing. No, thank you. All right. Got a few sympathies going out this morning to the team here for the loss of loved ones. Wow. Y'all are a good community. Thanks for keeping up with each other. Elise McQuillan, June Jones. Let's see, I said hi already. Teresa Emmerich. Melanie Phillips. Is it Melina? Melanina. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Julie Waldner, thank you for being on the show. All right, let's move. Pat Lightbody, I see you there. Jason Nichols says, good morning. Late start here, so fun last night. Brother, you're all over the auction. Holy smokes, thank you so much, my friend. Tell me you did not feed the biscuits to the squirrels. No, Chip, I had one of them this morning with a little, I heated it up just a few minutes, just a few seconds in the microwave, one of these light biscuits, and I had some fresh blackstrap molasses over a little chunk of butter, and I mixed that with a fork and just let it just sort of ooze down off the sides and see if I could keep it off my face before I ran up here. Woohoo! So, Diane Gregory, yes, I'll throw some on Etsy, and there'll be some there today for all of you who missed it. I need some more caffeine. Brother, I do too. Beverly Schmidt, thanks for being on the show. Elaine Barnett, thank you. You'll be looking for Etsy. I'll post a mug and say, hey, I'll post a mug. I'll do a mug shot. I'll post a little note that says, there's some paintings on Etsy. Run and get them. And I may post one on Facebook earlier today, or before I do that. All right, here we go. Chris Whitaker, thanks for being on the show. Man, you guys are piling on this morning. I got to get busy. Here we go. Let me find some music that I want to paint to. And I'm back to some paper that I started with. Remember, I mostly paint on, I love this paper, okay? And I know that everybody has to get used to 140-pound rag cotton. It paints differently than a lot of papers, but it is so rich when in this bright, when the color pops on this, it pops. I mean, it is just like kaboom. But from time to time, I mix it up. I paint on a lot of fluid paper. I paint Fluid 100, which is my favorite paper. The last time I called, I couldn't get any Fluid 100. It was delayed, so I had them send me some what I call regular fluid. And I love this. It's 140 pound too, and this is 8x8 paper. It's not as rough as my Kilimanjaro, but it paints really well. I love it. It comes in some great sizes. Hey, you can cut your paper to anything you want. Some people just put a straight edge on it and give it a rip, and I like that. But most of that's hidden behind frames anyway, and I just paint on paper that I feel like the paintwork, the artwork is going to pop the best on. So sometimes when I first started, if those of you who remember in my first class, we went into this thing, I literally, wait a minute, let me get this music going here. I literally started with a Kilimanjaro pad, and I started with this mixed media paper, and it's pretty heavy. It's 184 pound paper. And I like painting on this because it'll take markers, it'll take Sharpies. Jason probably will love this paper. And they make it a larger size, but I like these small size. Remember, I paint quick, I paint fast, I paint small. Why? Because everybody has a place for a painting this size. Not everybody has a painting like Jason, who bought that big old painting last night to throw up in an office or a wall or where you can, or in a classroom. So, but this is some paper I'm going to paint on today. And now I tell you that because I'm also going to paint on this piece of paper, and I've already sketched a little something on it. I wanted to do a Christmas piece that I didn't get to last night. This is studio paper. It's Fabriano, and it is hot press. It's 140 pound hot press. Slick, slick, slick. A fly goes choo. But I like this piece of paper, and I'm gonna do a little Christmas painting this morning. So here we go. Just with what I have here on the desk. Gonna use my regular American Journey paints, a couple different brushes. I got some Yasutomas, I got some fountain pens. I actually, before I came on the show this morning, I took a pencil. I know it's hard for you to believe. And I literally just blocked this out with a light pencil. You can almost see it. And so, a little music playing in the background. And someone said they're painting a loon this morning. And Pat Lightbody, this music would be perfect for loons, wouldn't it? Listen to this. Oh yeah, out on the lake, wouldn't that be cool? That would really be cool. All right. Large Roo is going to hang in my classroom. Oh man, infusing the room with creative inspiration. All right, I may have to paint something on there. Said, get to work. All right, so here we go. So I'm just going to pick up a pen, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a pen. I haven't changed pens. I add pens, but I still go back to my tried and true pens. This is a Pentel Energel. Remember, needle point, and here we go. So I'm just going to paint a stack of roos right here. I always start the beak of this roo because this prompts how big everything's going to be. There he is right there. Draw that leg in like I draw the legs, just do some squiggles down through there. This leg is a little shorter, not really, but it's foreshortened. This one's larger facing me. If you haven't looked into foreshortening, you want to do that sometimes. There's the Roo. He's standing there. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. I like his look. And then I'm going to put a little hen up here. She's just sitting here like this. She's got just a little bit of a comb on top of her head. She's a little more rotund because she's the brood hen. And she brings the eggs, the peeps, and she's got a leg out here just taking a hold of the, there we go. So she's balanced. There's her wing right there. A little eye right there. I like it. That looks good. I like her. I like her shoe. And notice that these don't really match my pencil. And that doesn't bother me one bit, okay? Lighten up when you sketch. I'm sketching these a little darker because I'm gonna, I want the outline, and this pen's gonna bleed a little bit. And I wanted this Roo here to sort of be looking up in the sky, like, would you hurry up? We're all stacked up here, and I need you to get on with what you're doing. And so he's a smaller Roo. There he is right there. And he's got a foot that's spread out here like this, and maybe one that's coming down over the head of his mama right there. Here's the first little peep. He's here. He's not a tiny one, but he's last year's brood, or maybe a few months ago's brood. There he is, and he's got his feet spread out like that. And then, of course, here's the little guy that's, oh, rats, I got him going in the wrong direction. Oh, that's going to be tough, huh? No, I'm just kidding. I did that on purpose, as you know, right? I think my music stopped. What do you think? Okay. Okay, so you see what's going on here. I painted this before Christmas. There's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 roos stacked. I like odd better than even numbers when I'm doing this. I have put them all facing one direction except this little knucklehead at the top, and I will take some of that pencil out just to get rid of the little bit of lag and mess right in here where I drew those a little differently. I wasn't going to erase it all, but I'll erase some of it just there. And then before this ink dries in too much, I'm going to go ahead and take, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change pens. I'm going to go to an 07. This is an 07. Okay, so it's a pen tail, and it's a little thicker. And why do I sketch fast? Some people sketch like this. If they were drawing a tree, they would draw this line down, and they would come out here, and they would be very careful, and they would go here, and then maybe this limb over here, and start to put some needles on it, and then maybe the next limb here. I can't sketch that way. One is that I would run out of the room and throw those biscuits at the squirrels. So for me, I just say, look, I'm going to cover this in green paint, and I want the limbs to be in the background anyway, and I want this to be natural and feel like I didn't really draw every little line. I'm not doing portrait painting here. I'm painting a Christmas tree that's just raucous, and every tree that I've ever brought into our house has had some limbs missing. You know what they do when they have limbs missing? I got a tree that's just got 2 limbs here, and I want another limb here. I drill a hole, I cut a limb, and I put it in the hole. And you know what? It stays green as long as the rest of the tree. Been doing that forever. Notice I just let that green run right over into the faces of these peeps. I don't know what I'm listening to. It sounds like Star Wars or the Christmas music or something. I'm going to shorten this tree right here. I put it in a bucket right here. There's the bucket. I don't know. I just like putting my Christmas trees, my Roodoodle trees in a bucket. There's something fun about that to me. So there it is. And you see what's wrong with this picture already. And for me, that's the caption. That's the turn. That's the twist. This is what makes my humor, my style work. Everybody could paint the little peep hanging the tree, hanging the star in the perfect place. For me, I think the things in real life are flexing with the stuff that you didn't expect. You all got stacked up, and for some reason, he's looking that way and the tree's over on the other side. So let me paint this right here, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint the tree first, and the reason is because if I paint these first, my hand's going to get in it when I go over here and paint the tree. So there we go. My dad used to do that to our Christmas trees. Yeah, isn't that great? I love that. I love the fact that I have a tree that was missing a limb. I just go get a limb off some other trees, and I'd find a bit that was about the right size, and I'd shave it down, and then just go wedge it in there. And if I felt like it was going to wobble a little bit, I just put a screw in there. So I've put as many as 7, 8 limbs on a tree that belong to other trees. Hey, just for the sake of brushes this morning, I'm going to use a couple different ones, just so you can get a feel for this. This is a number 6. This is a number, no, that's a 6. This is a 7. And this is a number 1 Yasutoma brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this number 6 right here and some green paint. Let me move all this over so you can see my palette there. Let me put a paper towel in front of me right here. Man, I am ready to go. All right, Lincoln, take it off with some music here and I'll paint this. Voila. Good wet brush, couple different greens. Start with my lights first. Always start with your lights first. You can come back in and add the darks. If you start with your darks first, you got no place for the lights to go. Remember that. You got to start with the light first or you're in a dark room. So throw some lights in there, a little bit of lights down in the tree. Man, I'm taking some long, easy time doing this. I'm not trying to paint each little thing that I drew. I'm just letting the paint go in there and let those be the underpaintings. I'll show you in a second how that works out. Now I'm picking up some darker that's next to this light right here in my palette. Can you see that? And there's 2 reasons for that. I'll tell you what one of them is. I'm running out of the light paint that I had in there. The other one is, I'm ready to do a little darker down here at the bottom, okay? I'm putting enough water in there to get some of this pen to run just a little bit. And by the way, on this piece of paper, it's not going to run as much as you might thought it would. So let me grab a little bit of yellow here, a little bit of green in here. You know, Christmas trees have just a touch of yellow in the top part where the sun breaks through, especially if you're decorating outside. And they have a little, if it's a blue spruce, they got just a little bit of blue-green in there. So there is my tree. A little brown in the trunk. He's leaning. Have you ever had a Christmas tree that didn't lean? If you did, you're not telling the truth. You turn it 17 ways to find it. Okay, a little blue spruce, I think. Okay, what color do I always paint my buckets? Oh, kind of a green gold, rusty. There it is right there. Just like an old bucket a little bit with a little bit of rust coming off the top. There it is right there. Boom. Sitting on a wooden box. That should be brown. All right, now let's paint these roofs, get them all ribbed up here. I think I need a little more spray in my, liven these paints up a little bit. I hadn't painted with them in a week. All right, here we go. Paint a little red and then just go in here, knock this out, just let it blend in. Is that cool right there? I like it very much, okay? I could do this while I have this red paint. It'd be easy for me to do, and that would be just go in and add all the red at one time. I don't do that very often, but sometimes if I just want to go back and forth and clean the brushes out, I'll just put all the red in. Let's see, put a little red in the tail here, and then maybe just a touch of red on the body right there. Clean that brush out. Looks like I'm gonna have to clean out my yellow here. I'm thinking that I didn't do that really well last day or 2. Sometimes I just spray a little water in there and clean out the well just a tad. Get some fresh gamboge. Pick up some of this right here. Look at that orange that went in. A little yellow beak there, a little yellow beak here with a touch of yellow coming down. Might as well just go ahead and do this one while I'm in here. Yeah, that yellow's looking pretty doggone green. All right, so you can see what I've been to this, about 5 minutes so far, maybe a little less, and there's my peeps are coming together. I'm not going to mess with the star yet. I won't, just for fun, I'm going to show you how I add a pen every now and then. I can never do trees until you taught us last year. I just, don't spend a lot of time doing the tree. Just lighten up. Look at what I'm doing here. I've got my Lamy pen, as John Robert Small says, Lamy like mommy. I'm using it, John. It's perfect. And I'm just putting a little bit of of a pen on this paper. Remember, I'm using hot pressed paper, so it responds differently to the pen. The ink dries a little quicker on it. It doesn't have all those facets. It's just fascinating how that works sometimes. But there's a little bit of blue in the tail. I think this rooster up here is going to have a lot more red in him. He's just going to be a Rhode Island red. The little brown, see that? Turn that in, perfect. And then of course, you know what I do to all my hens. They all tend to be little blue French hens. That's because Carol loves French blue. That woman, she is the bon vivant gypsy. She might be in touch with us this morning. I forgot to put that red wattle in for that hen. The hen's got a wattle too. All right. Hadn't got any Terry Tardy turquoise in there yet, so there's some right there. Just coming in a big wing. That'll show a nice little piece. Let's put a touch of this little purple in there, and I think I need some a little bit of titanium. Ooh, that turned out pink. That looked like rose. Give my love to Rose. All right, I'm going to have to mix up some yellow. You see how fun this is when you just talk to yourself like a madman? You just kind of tell yourself what you're going to do. Now you know how Bob Ross got into this. He wasn't talking to the camera as much. He was saying, you know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to do this. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. We're going to do this. He started seeing himself as part of the painting. And that is so fun when that happens. Ooh. Now I need just a little bit of something that's really bright. Let's see if I have some bright yellow on this pan right here. I don't know if I do or not. This might be bright sun yellow right there. Let's see if that's going to work. This is just a pan that I do. I just did a piece on this. For those of you who took the class, Route 857, I did a little piece of why this pan is important to me sometimes. This I try to keep pristine. That I just let it just kind of go wherever it wants. And that makes it really fun. There's a little bit of yellow. That's more of a sun yellow. That's kind of what I was after. And so put that over there. Give that, and I haven't changed brushes. I'm still using this number 6. I kind of like it. I'm going to get some darker greens, and I'm just going to set a little darker green in here, maybe on this back side over the tree over here, just for shadow. Can I take time and do this tree a little neat? Of course, could I, would I, should I? Here's the point. The point is, in illustrative art, which is what I'm doing here, it's really not about the tree as much as it's about the scene. It's about the story. And so I wind up with this little story here that says, the tree's gone. Or, okay, on the count of 3, everybody turn around. And so you're kind of helping this little peep understand that his role is so important, but he's facing the wrong direction. So in one way or the other, I will come up with the caption that I want to use this year. And I'll do that. And I might just come in here and, they're decorating their tree outside because you wouldn't bring this tree into the hen house. It's way too big for that. So I'll just put some little sprinkles and some dirt on that and clean that off a little bit. Maybe a little bit of fallen limbs down here on the ground, just there. Maybe some shadow, just a touch of shadow there. A little purple, a little Payne's gray, and a little purple, make a great shadow. If that's too much, I can take some of it out. You can erase. Okay, so there's how quick you can do a little painting, just a Christmas painting. Boom. Watch this. I'll take some of those dots and just touch them with the paper towel, and that'll soften them up a little bit. I still want a little bit. I changed brushes right then and wasn't paying attention. See, it doesn't matter what brush I have sometimes. And go a little darker on this side right here. Now, I'm going to show you how to do that on a little different piece of paper. But you get the idea of that, okay? The power of pen, paint, and paper is priceless. Heavens to Murgatroyd. That's a prolific statement. All right, so there you go. It's 6 by 9. Is that right? Yes, 6 by 9. It's on this paper. I'll show you what the paper looks like before I cut it. It's Fabriano. There it is right there. It's called Studio Watercolor. It can be a little more expensive. There's only 12 sheets that come in this wrapper, but there it is right there. And it is slick. It's called Hot Press. I also have Fabriano cold press. And I'm not as much of a fan of it as I am of Kilimanjaro, simply because it's pressed with a little bit of a pattern, and I don't like the waves in it as much. This is just a good, smooth, slick paper. I'll throw it over there. And this paper is a lot like painting on mixed media. It's a tad slicker than mixed media. Hey, I'll throw this on Etsy. I'll put the caption on there and toss it on Etsy. Right now I'm going to toss it in my floor, which one of these days I'm going to have to recarpet my office because it's early American watercolor splatter. That's a nice print. Hey, Sandra Connor, thanks for being on the show. Jason, hot press, even hot press or this mixed media for your work would work really well. I know that Pat uses a lot of Canson, and I think it's kind of a medium mix. It's cold pressed, but I think it's a little smoother than my Kilimanjaro. And sometimes with pens and pencils, you get a lot of fun marks on there. And I also can use that hot press, and I can use this mixed media with Say It Prismacolor markers. If you're an architect, you might want to come in and draw those the way you guys draw those people in the backgrounds and all that building stuff. And all right, so this is a piece of fluid paper, and I think I was going to draw another little painting on it, and I'll do it with the same pen. Let's see, where's that? Pentel 05, and so here it is right here. Need a little different music for this one. Let's just go with something that's, what's Andy doing here? Oh, that's perfect right there, okay? I think what I want to do is, I think I want this rooster sort of looking up into the sky also, like he's on a mission here. So here he goes right here. I paint this at Christmas sometimes, and I think you'll see why in just a minute. Sometimes the music makes me sketch faster than I actually sketch. It's kind of crazy that it does that, huh? Better slow it down a little bit. Where's Terry Tardy when you need her? Look at this. Terry Tardy turquoise to the rescue. Hey, I put another T in there. Terry Tardy turquoise tutu. A smaller brush here. Let's see what we got on the deck. What do we got? Oh, there's a little, that's too small. Or that's too thin. I need a little brush to get these ballet slippers done. That's something I don't say every day. I need a little brush to get these ballet slippers done. And I think they're going to be a bit of peach. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Look at that little slipper. I don't take some of this blue out right here. Just a tad. Just a tad. That's perfect. Okay, and so come down here. We just... What I'm doing now is just taking this pen and putting some nice little loose feathers, loose little frilly whatevers. Like there's not enough frill in this already, right? Okay, so and then maybe just tie in the top to this with just a little bit more of that peach, rosy kind of color piece drop down. And I'm liking where this is going. A little bit of orange right in here on the leg, and then maybe a little orange lace on the shoes. You know, nobody said they, you know, he got his, hey, this rooster got his tutu at the Goodwill, you know, left over from all those dance recitals that you pushed your kids through and spent thousands on. And then lo and behold, they decided to go into accounting. That's life in the fast lane. We laugh sometimes with our daughter. We send her a picture when we're down in Jacksonville. We send her a picture. We go, hey, look, it's Polly B's dance studio. Yes, you spent a lot of time there, dear. But it's good for them. Hey, look, I was celebrating one of my grandchildren last night who just got a part in a musical as part of the choral team. And it's just so fun when you see that happen. Okay, so now I think I just need some little French gray to create these eggs here. And where's my French gray? That paint there has turned into peach. All right, so here we go. Maybe this will do it. Oh, yeah, that's better right there. There's just some eggs. Put a little yellow in there. I love it every now and then when, and then I think there's a couple eggs here that I've just got to go. There's a couple that are broken, I should say. And so, and then let's put a little bit of this line across here like this. And let me paint this little root out here. I was having so much fun till my music quit, and now I'm on a roll, so I'm just going to keep going here, I think. But I want to just finish this up. And I just want to let these marks just fade in. See how that does this on fluid paper? You see how the lines will actually bleed just a little bit more? I love it when that happens. Once again, I'm going to go back to this pan. I don't have what I call a lemon or a sunburst yellow in this pan. It's just something that I use probably one time a year, Christmas. That's about it. I might do it at Easter, but just you know, a little bit like this. But I kind of like this star hanging down like this, and I'm just going to take and let some of those lines come on over like you would if the star were sort of shining a little bit like that. And then I like this line right here that I drew with the pen. You see that I didn't draw it straight. I just sort of doodled it down. It's like it's been turning. It's fuzzed up. That's the kind of stuff that I really like to think of that gives my paintings what I would say a little bit of detail without without being a very detailed artist. It just sort of lets me have control of what I want to put the detail in. And I'll change that sometimes. People go, gosh, he just is so loose and there's no direction. But there's a lot of detail here in this little painting. Believe it or not, look, this little tutu has a shoulder strap. You see that right there? So there's the little vest, and I'm just going to put pockets and buttons on the little vest and with the pocket. You didn't know where I was going to go with that, did you? I think this painting needs a little bit of sky splatter just to show some movement and light. Watch this. Boom, 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 boom. There's the star. And also I think there's been a couple of these little tutu things that are spinning off. They're flying out into here. Show some action. That's probably a little much. So let me go get this and erase that some. There we go. Erase that one just a tad. Make them a little bit lighter as they sail off into space. Maybe a little bit of lavender. This painting needs a touch of lavender just for fun. There we go. Maybe at the belt line. We'll just throw a little gaudy lavender in there. I mean, who builds these dance costumes? I don't know. I'm a blacksmith. But I think it's fun because here it is. Hurry. Run. Dad's doing the egg cracker ballet. Okay, so there you go. There's your little second Christmas painting for today. Don't you love that? I do. I think that's funny. Hey, if you got a question or two, pop them on here, and we'll see if I can answer them. I like this painting, but I say that about a lot of my paintings. And you go, that's the most prideful guy I ever heard. There it is right there. Karen says $35. Somebody's already bid on this one. They haven't even put it out yet. Okay, so I'll throw it out on the Facebook page today. But there it is. There is. See, hurry, run! Dad's doing a egg cracker ballet. All right. I can't get anywhere on time. Skeeter says he's so loose. Talk about a ballerina. Lisa says he's so loose with no direction. Is he talking about the ballerina or his painting style? Yes. There is a direction in my painting style, but I hope you have a hard time finding it because it needs to take you off course a little bit. I'm just going to tell you, what is my quote that I quoted the other day from my favorite book in the whole world, which is Orbiting the Giant Hardball, other than the Bible, and that would be this book. I am a disruptor, but I'm not a disruptor without purpose. I'm a disruptor with purpose. I like to walk in and say, why aren't you painting that? Why aren't you building that? You should do that. Make the dadgum brownie. Eat the brownie. Life is short, okay? It's the reason that you go the extra mile. My wife, the bon vivant, the Yaya, the gypsy, Carol Ann, Yaya splits the globe. She's on a journey the last few days. We were in Asheville because we'd always wanted to go and be a part of Libby's Christmas open house. It's early, but Biltmore opens for Christmas, and everybody's opening. Asheville is hopping. And I had to go and deliver these art boards that I'd made for these folks. And so in the process of that, we just walked the streets some and looked and talked to artists and be in shops and find people to enjoy life with. And then we cook. She's on a journey right now. I don't know if she is out there anywhere because I can't find her this morning, but I think there's a chance that she could pop on. She's on a different time zone. So, and then we're cheaper than a psychiatrist, somebody said. What keeps your creativity furnace fired? Jason says. Jason, that's a great question. One is, I'm just going to tell you folks, especially this time of year when I get to Christmas, and I think I know what Christmas is about, but also I think it has to do with there's a peace in my soul. I think it has to do with I believe I was created, and therefore I'm to create. I do believe that I'm supposed to disrupt with a purpose. I believe I'm supposed to challenge other people. I believe I'm supposed to hopefully inspire them. I can't motivate anyone, it just doesn't happen. But what I can do is I can do things and challenge them in such a way that they either feel like, well, that's not his place, or they go home and go, he could have been right. What if, what if? It's in Noodle Doodle Fiddle Piddle. You see, when I did Fox News, and some of you know this story, but some stories need repeating. When I did Fox News, I had a minute at the end of the news show. This was in 2004. I helped start Fox News Rising, a local Charlotte television show, and put this team together. And when I they pitched it to me at the end, and I tied all the little pieces together in a song, some of the top news stories, and I did it. And then I said, today I had a what if. What if you just, and this happened to me yesterday in traffic. People are lined up and they're trying to turn out, and they're ready to hit the horn and they're edging. And so I just sort of sit back and went, and the guy goes, thank you. Thank you. And I went, come on. The lady behind him goes, like, I got to get home. I bust up and I'm going, thank you. The person behind me blows the horn. I resisted the temptation to get out and walk back and check my tires. Like, something's wrong here. But I didn't. I slowly eased out, hoping they would let someone in. But they were like right on my bum. I'm not letting anyone in. And the whole thing about that is that we're getting somewhere 18 feet behind the next person. 18 feet is not going to kill my life. Now, if I'm running to the emergency room, I'm going to weave through and blow the horn and flash my lights and call 911. I'm going to be taking somebody somewhere. I'm going with purpose. But this thing, yesterday I was just coming home from an appointment, and I went by the grocery store, and I'd wandered around in there. I bought a couple things. I'm on my way, and people are at this red lights getting later in the day. Yesterday, it's Friday afternoon, and people are going like, gosh, it's been a holiday week. I need to get home. And I'm thinking, you're going to get home 20 feet. That's the length of my truck behind me, or 20 feet in front of me. I'm going to get home 20 feet in front. So part of that is, Jason, I tend to keep it fueled every day. I see one or two things every day that I want to do. I want to change that. I want to write that. I want to put that. So I create notes. I create journals. I create ideas, and I pin them to a board behind me. I pin them to this wall over here. I pin them. There's a huge wall behind me, behind this black backdrop. That wall is 4 feet by almost 10 feet, 9 feet. And that wall is a rubber wall, a push, like foam pads, and I pin push pins on it, and I change those things around, and I have ideas up there. And so for me, I walk in, I look at that wall, and I go, why has that been up there so long? I need to do something on that. So that's one of the ways I do it. There's that old saying in field notes, the people who did field notes, genius people. These were the little notebooks that I started in years ago, and I bought this one because, or my son gave me this because it has a rooster on it. There's Thor's hammer. Build this idea for Grant. I want to build a genuine Thor's hammer. Why? Because my son was a hammer thrower in college, and I think he needs that as a paperweight in his office at Coca-Cola. There are just notes in here. There are things that I need to do. There are things that I need to write down. This is an out-of-date one, and I look back and I go, ooh, I didn't get all of those. But hey, here's something I did. These are the builds that I started doing for Super Dad. Okay, a television show that's on. By the way, Super Dad is on right now. If you have Discovery Plus, you can go to Super Dad, and I'm just going to be proud and privileged to say I'm right there in the credits as it rolls by. Talk about Rue a couple times. Hey, what'd Rue do with that? Or where'd Rue leave the welder? My son's in the show. He and I worked on it. It's on the Magnolia Network. It's Discovery. It's called Super Dad. Taylor and I talk several times a month. He lives in Colorado now. He moved from LA, the talent for this show. Great young man, loves his family and loves helping these dads be super dads. It's not about him being such a super dad. It's about him helping dads be super dads. It's a good show. I told the network, if you keep helping dads not look like idiots on TV, I'll keep coming and help be a part of this television show. And it's really been fun to do. So part of that is, Jason, I get it out of my head. You got it. And that's what teaching is all about. If I'm holding stuff up here, and by the way, sometimes people say, oh, I put it in my phone. I put it in my computer. I got it there. And I'm saying, no, I want you to write it down on a 4x6 card and pin it to the wall. What if I don't get to it for 3 years? So what? If you don't have it so you can see it, you'll never get to it. And so the ideas that I think are really cooking, wonderful ideas, I put them on a 4x6 card and I put them on the wall. I could turn around right now and walk over there and I could get 5 cards just like this and throw them down and say, I wrote this down because of this. I wrote this down because of this. I wrote this down because of this. I'm fine if I die and leave some of those and didn't get to them, but by golly, they're written down somewhere. And so that's why I want to tell you how to make biscuits. Write it down somewhere. Out of sight, out of mind. Okay. Now, Pat, Noodle Doodle Fiddle Piddle illustrator Pat, she writes down everything. She writes down what some of you say on this show. Her notes from shows like this, and I'm flattered by it. I'm extremely flattered by it. Her notes go out and other people read her notes. She's like the person in college that says, hey, I'm not going to the class. I got a croquet tournament, but could you bring me your notes? I learn more from the notes than I do from what being in the class. And so anyway, all right, so you ready? Here it goes. I'm waiting to see if Yaya is going to catch me from Nashville. I'm going to tell you where she is in just a few minutes. I don't want to ruin the surprise in case some folks are in Nashville. 2 cups of sugar. Super Dad is hilarious. Oh my gosh, you've seen it? Heather Kuhlman, thank you. Isn't that a fun show? My son is Nathan Hahn. He's the one that Taylor calls Nate all the time. That's my son in the show. He shows up and does goofy stuff. I build a lot of the B-bills for Super Dad. So if you see rockets launch, I built the rocket launchers. If you see him roast marshmallows with a bike crank, I build those things. If you see a container that shoots ping pong balls during a relay, I built that. If you see a cannon that shoots water balloons, I built that. So that's the kind of stuff that I do for that. I'm the B-build guy. I'm the Martha Stewart tag along. Hey, here's all the recipe for a pie. Now, these are the ones I had in the oven. I've got the one in the oven. That's my job. It's a fun time. So I'm glad you've seen it. It's on the Discovery Channel, Discovery Plus, and it's called Super Dad. So, and all right, sketchnoting. Yes, and by the way, Pat, that's what it is called. And for a while, I did a whole project for 2 days with Chick-fil-A many, many years ago where I sketchnoted their marketing ideas on, ready for this? 4x4 pieces of paper. And then we use that paper to shot them, and then they sent them to the folks as notes later. And I sketched these giant things, and they didn't have to be good. I still am not a great sketch artist. Pat's a great sketch artist. But put your notes down on paper. It's journaling to me. Okay? Hey, so in case I don't get Carol to pop in here before the show's over, ready for this? Best biscuits in the country. And I'll put it up against your grandmother because, she did all this and the soda and the pinch of salt and touch of sugar and this flour and this knead. And you got dough up to your elbows. I love all that, and I love your grandma's biscuits, and I bet they're great, but I'm going to tell you what I do now that just stops me in my tracks for biscuits. Here it is. 2 cups of flour. Self-rising. What? Yep, had to go buy a bag of self-rising because I didn't have any. I just had all-purpose, but then I got to get the baking powder right, and then I got to get a pinch of soda, sometimes too much soda, and it tastes like soda bread from Scotland. No offense to you people who eat it all the time. 2 cups of self-rising. I used to freeze my butter and chop it into little pieces and use like 3/4 of a stick of butter and mix it all in. 3 teaspoons or tablespoons, 3 tablespoons of butter. Just right out of the fridge, cut it in little chunks, and then drop it in and work it up with clean hands until it feels like cornmeal, okay? 1/4 cup of cream cheese. What? 1/4 cup of cream cheese. Just block it off, put it in, mix it all up until it's kind of just there. Make a hole in the middle of it. Pour in about 3/4 of a cup of buttermilk. Not regular milk, not low-fat milk. Come on. You don't want low-fat milk. You just get sugar. If you're going to drink milk and you're going to have your kids drink milk, have them drink the real milk. You didn't know I was going to get into nutrition on the show, did you? All right, so buttermilk. Get the real stuff, put it in there, and start mixing it up with your hands. And then you want it to be sticky. If it's too dry, put another quarter cup in or a little bit. You might use a cup depending on if you got heavy with the flour or if your measuring cup was heaped or not. So you want it to be loose. Sprinkle some flour on a board and then sprinkle a little flour on top of your mess. And I do want it to just be sticky, like, whoa, this is too sticky to touch. I can't roll this. You're not going to roll it. Dump flour on top of it, flour on your board, dump it out, and then fold it over one time like this. Maybe add a little more of that flour with your fingers. Press it down. Maybe don't overwork it. Maybe fold it one time and press it until it's about 1.25 inches thick. Cut it really quick. Now, this is a key. Cut it just straight through. Don't twist. Don't turn. Don't go slow. Just go and cut it. Pick that biscuit up. Drop it into an ungreased cast iron skillet. A cast iron skillet. Don't put them on a cookie sheet. Don't put them on baking paper. Just put them in cast iron, one right next to the other. Let them just bump against each other because the moisture stays in them like that. If you can't fill up the whole pan, whatever dough you have left, just kind of make a little donut roll out of it and stick it over there on the side and hold up the side. Make sure your oven's on 4. Ready for this? 450. Put your oven on 450. And slide them in there in cast iron skillet. Boom. Set a timer for 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, turn the skillet around and turn your oven down to about 410. And then set your timer again for another 7, 8, maybe 9 minutes. Just watch them till they get golden. If you want to brush them with some butter on top, they'll brown up a little bit more. Bring them out, and they're going to be fluffy. They're going to be brilliant. They're going to be, right now I'm ready to go have another one. There's your recipe. If you didn't write that down, you'll have to watch the show all over again. All right, 450, Jacqueline says. Oh my gosh, that's too hard. Extreme lactose intolerant. Yeah. Well, I am so sorry about that, but I really am, Gene. You'll have to have toast. Got to get me a cast iron skillet. Jason, I've got 27 of them. I redo cast iron skillets. And if you ever want to know how I redo mine, I find them at garage sales and estate sales. My kids, I pass them off to my kids. Love it. All right. So I don't see, Miss Carol Ann showing up anywhere this morning, so she's probably not going to pop on the show. But she's in Nashville. If she pops on a little later, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go live. And it looks like Pat Evans has a family loss this morning. So, Pat, pray for you right now and pray for the peace of your family, my dear. We all will go through that. Do you deliver, Mary Quell says. No, I don't. I can mail you one if you're close by. I'm not mailing it to South Australia, Sue Kane. And I'm not sending you a biscuit that far because you just have to throw it at a squirrel. All right. So, okay. Here we go. B, I'm gonna chastise you. B says, I hope you're gonna post this recipe. I have no paper in front of me. So B, I gotta tell you, don't come to a dog fight without your dog. You gotta come and watch my show with a piece of paper and a pen. You have to think like an artist, my dear friend. I hope you're smiling with me because I'm chastising you, okay? Oh, okay. Are you painting on Etsy today? An auction. I hope I can catch it. No, I'm not painting on Etsy today. I'm posting some paintings on Etsy today. I'm going to post some paintings. I'm going to post this painting right now on Facebook. I'll put a little price next to it. It's 8x8, and it's coming out right now. So let's go from there. That'll be great to do. And let's see if there's anything else. What is sketchnoting? Sketchnoting is, Sandra, that'd be a fun thing to look up. Pat's got a handle on it. I gave one book away, but I actually have another book on sketchnoting. It's a way that, here's what sketchnoting is in a nutshell. It's a way that people who are fast brain, ADD, ADHD, nope, That sounds terrible. Fast brain. Thank you, Dr. Jim. It's the way fast brain people take notes so they remember it later. I journal through my Bible by drawing little pictures on the empty page over there of what it means. I look at that picture and I go, I know what that is. It's me. It's me following little sketches and notes. I don't think I have any of my Bible journals up here. But even this, no, that's not it. Even this, no, that's not it either. Sketchnoting is when I go to a meeting and I draw a picture like this about what the guy's talking about in his leadership forum, and I draw a little thing, what it all means, and I sort of go through that. Pat does it really well. She does a little picture, and then there's just little points there, so you go, oh, I remember that, instead of just written notes where you go, I don't remember, I didn't finish this sentence, or me, I can't read my writing anyway. I mean, thank y'all for putting up with my horrible captions. But that's the concept of sketchnoting. You can look it up today, and you'll see. There's a lady named Sunny, S-U-N-I. She is brilliant. She has taught it across the country. I read one of her books 10 or 12 years ago, maybe more. So it's a real thing. I used to do sketchnoting for people who do videos. I do the little sketches and then show those in the video. This person was talking about this, and here's this drawing of a raindrop coming down, and within the raindrop there'd be little points. So she's saying we need to rain our leadership down, whatever it is. Not rain as in king and queen, but sprinkle them good with something. All right. Needed instructions on how to revive a cast iron skillet, please. Yep. First of all, I got to make sure it's good enough to revive. So June Jones, I'm gonna give you a little added tip this morning. Send me a photo of the skillet, front, back, inside, outside. See if it has anything written on it, and I'll take a look at it, and I'll send you a little. Here's how Michael Hahn changes his cast iron skillets. Perhaps you can show us one of your Bible journals, Sue. Deborah Springer, I'd love to do that sometime. I'll do that. I got to go make a difference in the length of grass, John Robert Small says. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. I got to go too. I think Ruth should do a cookbook and illustrate it. I think that would be a very difficult thing. Carol and I have talked about it for years, but I don't know if it'll happen. Woo-wee, it's tough and expensive. So there we go. All right. So I don't think Carol's dropping in on us this morning. And so she is in Nashville, Tennessee. And here's the thing. It's just 9 o'clock there. So if I pop in today, do you remember when some of you sent as many as 120, 130 cards to a dear friend of ours who had broken her hand and shoulder and has an art show once a year? Some friends have gathered and gone to help her. And so I think I might do a break-in today. We'll see, okay? So that's it, okay? All right. Hey, I'm out of here like a herd of turtles. This has been a fun day. Somewhere up here on my desk, there used to be a harmonica, and I haven't played it in a while. Some of you thought I just blew this thing. I can play it. I will see you Monday, Lord willing, and we'll paint some other things. I'm getting into my Christmas mode, and I'll tell you more and keep you posted about Etsy if I post some paintings there. Thank you once again for the auction last night, and I'll start working on those and get everything, invoices sent out and all those mailed to you. Remember, I have the mugs and the bug out bags, and then, of course, these two paintings that I did this morning. There's one of them right there, and here's the other one, Christmas painting. I think this one's going to say, "The tree's gone," okay, or something like that. But this one, I like this one already. Hurry, Dad's doing the egg cracker ballet. Isn't it awesome what dads, super dads, and grandfathers will do to bring joy to children? Okay, life is short, folks. Be creative.